Have you ever looked closely at your old family photos? I mean, really looked? Past the smiling faces and the familiar settings, into the shadows, into the background. You might just find something you weren't meant to see. For one family, a casual trip down memory lane turned into a journey into the heart of an unexplainable, terrifying mystery. It all started with a single photograph. It was a picture from a summer barbecue, maybe 10 years ago. The whole family was there, gathered on the lawn, burgers on the grill, sun shining. But as one of the daughters, let's call her Sarah, zoomed in on the digital copy, she noticed something odd. Standing just behind the back fence, partially obscured by a tree, was a man. He was unusually tall, dressed in a dark, old-fashioned suit. His face was a blur, but the impression was, unsettling. He didn't belong. He wasn't a neighbor, and no one remembered a guest who looked like that. They laughed it off. A stranger walking by at the exact moment the photo was taken. A funny coincidence. But then they looked at another photo. This one was from a birthday party, 5 years earlier. A different house, a different state even, and there he was again, peeking from behind a neighbor's garage across the street. Same tall, thin frame, same dark suit. Less of him was visible this time. But the posture, the sheer strangeness of his presence, was identical. The laughter died down. A knot of unease began to form in their stomachs. This wasn't a coincidence anymore. Driven by a mix of fear and morbid curiosity, they dug out the old, dusty photo albums. The ones with the crinkly plastic pages and faded Polaroid prints. They went back, year by year, through their entire lives. A Christmas morning, 1995. There he is, a tall, shadowy figure visible through the living room window, standing out in the snow. A trip to the beach, 2003. A tall man in a full suit standing on the distant pier, looking towards them. A first day of school photo from the late 80s. You could barely make him out. A tall, thin silhouette at the far end of the street. In every single significant family event captured on camera, he was there. A silent, constant observer, always in the background, always just out of focus. The family was terrified. Who was this man? How could he have been at all these places, spanning decades and hundreds of miles? They called relatives, aunts, uncles, grandparents. No one knew, no one recognized him. The unease turned into genuine, chilling fear. He wasn't just a random stranger, he was watching them. He had always been watching them. Then they found the photos that shattered their understanding of reality. They found their parents' wedding album from the 1970s. Flicking through the pictures of young, happy faces, they felt a sliver of hope. Surely he couldn't be in these. But then, on the last page, a group shot outside the church, and there, in the crowd of well-wishers at the very back, was a tall, slender man in a dark suit. His face was turned away, but they knew it was him. The blood ran cold in their veins. This man, this entity, hadn't just been following them. He had been following their family for generations. Desperate for answers, they searched even further back, digging up a box of their grandparents' old black and white photographs from the 40s and 50s, a picnic in a park, a soldier's homecoming, and in the background of a faded, sepia-toned photo from what must have been the late 1940s, they found him. Standing by a tree in the distance, the same impossible height, the same unnerving presence. He was timeless. He was relentless. The family couldn't sleep. They felt constantly watched. Every shadow in the corner of their eye looked like a tall man in a suit. Every creak of the floorboards at night was him, finally stepping out of the photographs and into their home. The photos were no longer cherished memories. They were proof of a lifelong curse, a silent stalker they could never escape. They thought about getting rid of the pictures, burning them, anything to break the connection, but they were afraid. What would happen if they destroyed his only way of being seen? Would he find another way in? A more direct way? The weight of this knowledge was crushing. How do you live your life knowing you're being perpetually haunted by something you can't understand? They stopped taking pictures. No more family gatherings, no more birthday parties, no more holiday snapshots. They were afraid to create new windows for him to look through. For a while, it seemed to work. Life returned to a semblance of normal. The constant feeling of being watched began to fade, replaced by a dull, lingering dread. They tried to forget. Years passed. The children grew up and moved out. The parents grew old in that same house. The box of cursed photographs was hidden away in the attic, a dark secret they tried to bury. One evening, the mother was home alone, tidying up the living room. She decided to take a picture of the newly decorated space to send to her daughter, Sarah. It was an impulsive act, the first photo she'd taken in over a decade. She pulled out her phone, framed the shot, the cozy fireplace, the new armchair, the family portrait on the mantel. She tapped the screen. A moment later, her phone buzzed with a notification from Sarah. "Mom, who's that with you?" It read, confused. The mother looked at the photo she had just sent. The living room was empty, just as she had seen it. She zoomed in. Her heart stopped. He wasn't outside the window this time. He wasn't down the street or in the background of a crowd. He was in the room with her. Standing right behind the armchair, in the darkest corner of the living room, was the tall man in the dark suit. He was clearer than he had ever been before, and this time you could almost make out his face. And he was smiling. She dropped the phone, the screen shattering on the floor. And from the corner of the room, she heard a slow, deliberate footstep. He was no longer just in the photos. He was in the house. The story ends there, passed down through a terrified phone call from Sarah, who never heard from her mother again. What happened in that house? Who or what was the man in the photographs? Some say he's a time traveler, a silent observer of history. Others believe he's a type of fae or supernatural being that attaches itself to a bloodline. And the most terrifying theory? That he's a reaper, a harbinger of death, patiently waiting in the background of your life until the day he decides to step into the foreground. So next time you're looking through your photos, look carefully. Check the shadows, the windows, the crowds. You never know who might be standing there, watching and waiting, just for you. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next dive into the unknown. Stay safe out there.